Alright, I'm feeling very out of practice with this recording, but anyway, just been to Costco. So this is what we've got. It's the end of January. So I have, what's that? 3.5 kilos of mince. The string cheese, I've got 3 packets of those. The prawn and wonton tom yum soup. My husband takes them for work. We've got some butter, some Vegemite, tub of Vegemite. We go through one of them probably every 2 to 3 months. I've got 3 bottles of pizza sauce. The pork sausages, we use 4 in a meal, so there's 16 in the pack, so that's 4 meals worth. They are $26-ish. I've got roughly 2 kilos of chicken thigh fillet, chicken nuggets for the 2 little kids, 20 of the little rice cups, brown rice. These marshmallows, my eldest has discovered them. They're gluten-free and she will have one in her lunchbox every day. Sandwich bags, 3 pack of butter. The family use this butter, and then the eldest daughter, who's celiac, uses a different shaped container. It just helps to keep things separate. Frozen fish. These come like individually packaged, so they're really easy to get 1 or 2 or 3 or however many you need at a time. I like the way these are packaged. I've got 1.5 kilos of cocktail franks, some Freddos, gluten-free pizza bases. These are for the eldest. She will often have this for breakfast. 1 pizza with pizza sauce and pizza cheese. I figure it's no worse than a toasted sandwich. So Easy Mac for me, it's an indulgence. I don't feel well when I eat it, but I really like it. 6 deodorants for my husband. Tomato ketchup, there's 3 of those. We've got the brown sugar and cinnamon muffins. You get 2 packs for, I think it's $12. Yeah, $13. So 2 packs for $13, which makes them just over $1 each. We cut them in half, store them in the freezer, so my husband and I can only eat half each. I've got some tortillas. I've got 3 packs, so 6 packets. They have a great use by date on them. These ones are best before the 1st of September. It's now January, so we're definitely going to eat them in time. We just open up 1 packet at a time. I've got 4 loaves of bread. They're also great value, slightly cheaper than in the supermarket. So I buy 4 every time I go to Costco and just chuck them in the freezer. We generally go through 1 to 2 a week. So, and 2 boxes of jumpies because I love them. And that is Costco for the, I don't know how long, 3 to 4 weeks. I generally go to Costco once every 3 to 4 weeks. We have the executive membership. So, yeah, we have the executive membership for Costco, so we get 2% rebate for everything that we spend. I just renewed today because our renewal was due, and I used our rewards to pay for their membership. So the membership costs $130 for 12 months, and we earned $170 in that 12 months. So it paid for my membership, and we got $40 towards today's shop. So for me, it's worth it because you pay $65 a year anyway for Costco. So to pay the extra $65 and then get an extra $40 on top, that was all paid for by what we spend. And I would spend that money anyway going to Costco. So it just makes sense to me to get a free membership and free $40 for the year. Yeah, so I'm going to put all this away and move on. I forgot to say that shop, the transaction process was $514. So add $40 onto that because that was what rewards we had left. And that comes to $550-ish. But $130 of that was the membership, which also came with the rewards. So that's not. So it was an extra $130 on top of that. And then the $130 came off, and then the $40 came off, and I paid $514. So it would have been about $550-ish for what's on the table. Maths is hard sometimes. I forgot that I also had a 36 pack of Coke and this 24 pack of apple juice, Pop Tops. Our eldest drinks these usually at dinner time, never more than 1 a day, probably not more than 4 or 5 a week. I, on the other hand, drink way too much of that. Alright, so just putting the stuff away. The fish comes in the box. Last time we got them, my husband didn't know that there was tape on it, and he's like ripped the whole thing. Anyway, we've got 2 pieces left from last time, so I'm hoping that they'll fit in, which they will. So they come like individually wrapped, which is really good. So that will go back in the freezer. Alright, so the snap lock bags come in handy because I'm going to portion up all of the food. So chicken goes in the little sandwich bags. And I generally use 3 thighs to a bag. Try and get a mixture of big ones and little ones so that it's like a decent amount of chicken per bag. This will do a meal for us because 2 of our kids don't really eat a lot of meat, so it's not worth cooking a super huge amount. And also my husband and I both had gastric bypass surgery, so we don't eat a huge amount of food. This works out to between 400 and 500 grams of chicken per meal, which is plenty for us. The kids, for reference, are 9, 5 and 3, and then it's my husband and I. That is a very small piece of chicken. And the 5-year-old doesn't eat a whole lot at all, and the 3-year-old depends on how she feels in the day. And the 9-year-old eats a normal adult portion. She's growing up. They just go in the freezer as is, and we get them out when we need them. The sausages fit in a medium bag, and as I said, 4 to a pack. They are usually tied together. So 4 big sausages will do our family. Because the eldest will eat 1 to herself, and then the other 3 get split up between the 4 of us that are left. Sausages are one thing that Nuggie will eat, so we try to have them once a week. So yeah, some sort of meat in his life. The other meat that he will eat is mince, but only in taco form. So we also have tacos once a week. When I say tacos, it's taco bowl. So taco mince with rice and powdered cheese, because who doesn't love powdered cheese? So that's generally where the only places he eats meat. If we have chicken, he doesn't really eat it. Apart from nuggets or schnitzel, if we cut it up small like nuggets, he sometimes eats it. But red meat, he is not really a fan of. Roasted meat, no, which isn't a huge problem because we don't eat a lot of roasted meat. I don't really like it. It just doesn't really suit the way we eat at the moment. the bottom are real slippery. Yeah, so try and portion the food as I freeze it in like the size of what we would be eating, because I don't really like waste and we're not huge on leftovers. So I like to freeze in portions what we're gonna actually eat in that meal. If we have 1 or 2 serves for leftovers, then my husband or I will eat that the next day for lunch. But we generally don't plan to have a lot of leftovers. We do have one night a week where the kids just, it's called plates, and they can have whatever they like. It's usually nuggets and chips. And that's where we would use some of the leftovers from the week if there is anything left over. Literally just whatever you want on a plate is what we have. And we do that on the night that I teach calisthenics and then do calisthenics myself. So I'm gone from 4 till 10 on that night. I just freeze these in 8s. Because 8 is generally what, or maybe 10. 10 fits in the packet, I think, in the box. Yeah, 10. And these are already cooked, so we literally just chuck them in hot water to defrost them. And then we have to peel them because the kids like them peeled. And it's easier to buy in this packet, even though they've got the skin on them and we don't eat the skin. Just for the gluten factor, if I can't buy hot dogs from the deli unless they've opened a new packet for me, which is really frustrating. And I also generally only buy from the supermarket online, and so you can't specify with deli stuff that you want them to open a new packet and stuff like that. So it's just easier with cross-contamination to buy them like this. It's about the same price anyway. And peel them, chuck the skins out. And then these just get a lid, and I just write Frank's on a piece of masking tape. And that's how they get labelled. And the tape just comes off when we finish using it. I'm sure there's prettier ways of labelling stuff, but I don't have time for that. I often also put the chicken thighs in containers, but I knew I didn't have enough to do the Franks and the chicken, so I just done it for the Franks. Because 3 chicken thighs fit really nicely in this container, which is from Tupperware that no longer trades in Australia. But a long time ago, I was a Tupperware lady, and so that's, our kitchen's pretty kitted out with Tupperware. That's the first job I had after having our oldest child, because I could work around my husband, and that was all good. And finally, yes. Oh no, I've got to do the muffins as well. But the mince just gets done. It's the scale, kitchen scale. Oh. It's really humid in the house today because it's been quite hot the last few days, and I've got the aircon on. We have evaporative cooling, and it just gets really humid. I'm not used to it. Alright, so 500 grams of mince. And I just wash it flat in the bag because it takes so much less time to defrost when it's like that. roughly 500 grams of mince. If I'm 5 or so grams over, I don't really care. And I will do a couple of 250 gram lots as well for when we have burgers. Nuggy won't eat burgers, so he just has chicken tenders with a burger roll. And Pops really doesn't eat them either, so she will just have a burger roll, maybe with some chicken, I don't know, whatever we have on the day. But we only use 200 grams of mince when we do burgers, so there's no point freezing it in a 500 gram pack if we're not going to use it. So I do some smaller ones for that. And one of these will be for tonight's dinner because it's Wednesday, and that's the night we have burgers. That's going to be too much tonight. Yep, so there's 330 in this one, but I'll use that tonight, and I'll just cook up the rest of the mince like with some teriyaki sauce or something and have it for myself for lunch. Whoa! Alright, so all of that will go in the freezer, and I'll also, I'm not going to do it on camera, but I'll also chop these muffins just in half, and each side goes in a Ziploc bag and they go in the freezer. That's that.